Okay, we are recording. We are recording. Yes, we are. Good. Okay, so we're recording right now. Today is Thursday, September the 18th, 2025, and we are working on MCC Building 9. So we are going into this right now. So what we just did is we just downloaded from Brightspace MCC Building 9. We downloaded that. Now to go back there, we go to Building 9 here, and we're going to go over here, and we're going to download this one, this MCC Building with CAD plan. We're going to go ahead and download this. So we'll click on download for that, and then we'll have both of those, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with those. Do not double click on this, or you'll have the situation where cannot save as a project. Okay, we've been through this. If you do that, it will always think it's a template. So that's why we don't do that. If you do it, there's a remedy. It's just a couple more steps, okay? And then there's weeping and gnashing of teeth, while you're trying to figure out whether you've lost all your work. All right, going over here, what we have right here is we just downloaded that. Now, what we're going to do next is we are now going to go ahead and we're going to move on to the next thing. The next thing is over here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to open up Revit. So I'll go to Revit down here, and Revit is right at the bottom of your, it's on the bottom of our ribbon now, at least it's on mine. Is it on the bottom of your ribbons right now, or is that not? Not for us. No? You can save it down there. Did you know how to do that? You can just like you can take the icon, just drag it right onto your taskbar, and then it's down there for good. And they're saving our desktops now. I don't know when they started doing this, but my desktop has been the same every week. You guys seeing the same thing? Are you saving? You're seeing that? Okay. I don't know what's going on, but I like it. Hopefully it'll stay that way. Okay, so here's what we have been working with, and now we're going to do is we're going to go up here and click on new. Click on new, and when we click on new, we're going to do this. So we'll click on new right here, and we're going to go to browse. Click on browse. And when you click on browse, we're going to go out over here. If you go here, you can go to your desktop, and then you're going to go to your downloads, and you should see your MCC building with CAD plan. That's what you want right there. MCC building with CAD plan and grid. Click open and click OK. And you should be seeing the CAD plan attached to a floor plan. It should look like this. You guys seeing that? Okay, let me just kind of do this. Make sure you guys are seeing that. Yeah, okay. So, and this is the building 9 right there. Okay. Okay. Arnold, you doing okay there? All right. Okay. My machine's showing that you're not with me, but just so I don't want to leave anybody behind. If I've left someone behind, please let me know. I want to make sure that we don't leave anybody behind. You guys all good? Okay, now check this out here. Let's take a look at what we have here. Now, as you take a look at this, if you zoom, let's just zoom in right around here. When you zoom in right around here, right around close to the middle of the floor, this is our room right here. This is engineering tech computer lab right here, and it's room 157. That's us. That's where we're at right now. So we're in this room right now, and there's offices around us. Here's the corridor we were just standing in right over there. Now, as you take a look at this right now, what I did right here is I brought in the CAD plan that's underneath there, and along with that, I actually pulled in some columns. Let me show you what this looks like. Let's zoom out right here, and we're going to go to this is our 3D view right up here, default 3D view. Click on that, and when you look at it, take a look at that. Now, what you're seeing there is you're actually seeing these columns right here, and I made them stop at the second floor. Okay, I could have had them go all the way up, but that'd be confusing. So I just had them go up to give us a visual. You guys all seeing that? Okay, now, what we're going to do here, interesting. I got dimensions there. Okay, I hid them in the other view. Okay, but what you've got going on right here is that actually what that looks like. So, what my goal was with this was to actually get you a easily understood example as far as how a floor plan will depict something and how the 3D works. So we're part of the way there. Let's go ahead and zoom in just right here to this corner. Zoom in right to there. And when we zoom into that corner, I want to show you something interesting. When you zoom into this corner right here, you're going to notice that there are your columns. Columns are right there. Okay, now the columns are the only thing that's 3D in this plan. And the reason why is I put those in there. I Revitized this plan, so it's actually got the grid lines, I put those in. Those are actually Revit based, so they have intelligence. The other thing I did is I went ahead and placed these in there because I thought it'd be as a kindness rather than make you guys do that. But you're going to get your job next. Okay, now what we're going to do is this particular floor plan, there's something different than what we have out there. They're I-beams. Yes, they're I-beams. Very good, very observant. So what we have to do is we have to put in concrete massing. If only there was a concrete massing column out there that would fit right on there, that was standardized. If only the teacher had taken the time to do that, which I did. So watch this now. Now what we're going to do here, I'll show you how this works. So let's go back to your level 1 here. Go to level 1. Let's go way down here. You're going to scroll right down here. Now, you're going to see in this view that it might be kind of hard to see, but you're going to see some I-beams here. So what I'm going to do, okay, here to see them really easily, let me show you this. This is the tool I want you to turn on, which is this one right here. I'll just go ahead and go here. This tool right here, this is your, that's your, right there. Can you guys see that? Okay, that is your thin lines tool. So what you want to do with that, let me make it red. Red is more standardized. There we go, red. So we got that. So we got red, and then how do I get rid of my clear all drawings? We'll do that. Okay, so you want to click on that. When you click on that, what that's going to do is it's going to go ahead and it's going to either give you thick, but when you do that, can you see your columns a lot easier now? Okay, so now here's what you're going to do. Now, how many columns are on this floor plan? Well, let's find out. I'm going to go ahead and click on one of these. So I'll click on one of these, and notice what this has up here. If you've ever looked at a set of floor plans, maybe some of you have, maybe you haven't. Does that look familiar to anybody? That notation right there, it calls it right up here. It's a W-shaped column, W10 by 49. Anyone that Greek to you guys? Or that's actually the size specification for the column. Actually, how it's made, how that actually eye structure. Because when you're using columns, you know, it's not one size fits all. You don't need something that's going to hold up 20 stories if you're going into a 1-story building or a 2-story building. So therefore, they come in thicknesses. They're larger, they're smaller, that kind of thing. And here's a little bit of trivia. It's not really trivia, but you know, right now it might not be really important to you. When you are actually building and you're putting in I columns and you're going all the way up right there, as you get higher up in the building, they get smaller. They actually get thinner to save money because you don't need that much weight to be held up. Because as you get top, if you take a look, for instance, at the World Trade Center, the World Trade Center had these beefy columns, these beefy items at the bottom. And once you got up to around 60 or so forth, they got thinner. And once you got up to 100, they got thinner again because they didn't have to be. That's part of the reason there wasn't as much structural strength when they were struck. Because that's just how it is. Because they were struck close at the top. That's getting a whole other thing. But okay, so we've got that right there. So that is how those go right there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you, first of all, how many columns these are. So first of all, with this select, I'm going to show you a trick here. With that selected, it turns blue. Right-click your mouse and go to Select All Instances, Visible in View. Can you guys see that? Go to Select All Instances, Visible in View. And it tells you how many are here. How many do we have? 219. Right up here. Can you guys see that? So there's 219 columns. So guess what? You're going to get some practice tonight in putting in columns. Now, the fortunate thing is these columns go in really easily. It's like a magnet. You just got to put it on top and click, boom, boom, boom. That's all you got to do. It's a piece of cake. So let me show you how this starts. This is how you do this. You go to the Architecture tab that's right here. Go to the Architecture tab. Now, you go to the Architecture tab there, and you go up here to your column. See, you got column right here. Click the drop down for the column, and you have 2 different types of columns. What's the first column? What's the second? Architectural. What's the difference? Okay, in Revit, when Revit looks at this is how Revit sees columns. Revit sees columns in 2 particular ways. Either it is weight bearing, that is like the iron that is actually, or steel that's actually shaped in an eye. And the other one is what we call architectural, which is non-weight bearing, which is essentially, I wouldn't say ornamental. However, it is not actually weight bearing. Okay. In this case, what we're doing right now, this what we're putting in here, the shape we're going to be putting in here is going to be a column, it's going to be architectural. And when we put this in here right now, what we're going to do is we put it in there. We are going to go ahead and what we're going to do is select it and we're going to put it on top of those. Now, our columns, actually the concrete that we have right here is part of the actual structure. So that definition with Revit, I would probably take some issues with them about being that broad with their conversation. But broadly speaking, that's what it means. You've got a structural column, and typically the mass that goes on the outside is called an architectural column. Okay. Pressure escape key to release everything. Pressure escape key to release everything. And nothing is going to be in blue. Now that we know where we're going, let me show you how we're going to get there. You're going to go up here to column, hit the drop down and choose column architectural. And when you go to column architectural, you're going to see this chamfered column, 16 by 16, which I have prepared. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to bring it right here. And notice that when I put it right on the center, like a magnet, it finds it. I click on it, and now it's in place. Let's go ahead and put these three in place right here. 1, 2, 3. Let's just go ahead and put those three in place. Then pressure escape key a couple times and take a look at it in 3D. And then we're going to zoom out and take a look at that. And when you've done that, it looks like this. So zoom into that. And then what you want to do is go ahead and change the visual style so it's consistent. Actually, make it shaded. Make it shaded. That would be good. You make it shaded, it looks like this. And I'm going to show you another little cool trick here. Here's a little trick here. Watch this. Down here at the bottom of your screen, there is a tool right here, right down here. And this turns your shadows on and off right down there. Can you guys see where I circled? Okay, go ahead and click on that tool. And when you click on that tool that's down there, let me clear these out. And I'm going to go down here. So when I click on this, you're going to notice that shadows show up. Now that is a way to see actually where your columns are and, you know, the thicker ones and so forth. That's just something you can turn that on or turn it off. So if I turn it off, they go away. You can turn them on, you can turn them off. It's up to you. The visibility can be, you know, might be helpful. But in any case, what you're going to do right now, there are 219 of these. Okay, so what you're going to do is now for the next few minutes, you're just going to go ahead and place those on here. Okay, it's going to be practice because I'm intentionally doing this. And you might say, well, Mr. Brandon, that's an awful lot of repetition. Yes, exactly, because repetition is the key to learning and getting familiar with this stuff. Because you're going to need to be doing this kind of stuff if you're actually working with people. So now, what you're going to do is you're going to start on level 1 and go back and forth between your views and see how it populates. Okay, so let's do that, and then I'll move you on to the next thing. How did I color them in? I went here, and what you do is you would go up here, you hit this drop down right here, visual style, and I made them shaded. You could also make them consistent colors, or you could make them textured, or you could use realistic. Any of those will give you, you know, an appearance which is great. But shaded tends to be pretty good for this one, so we're just going to do that. All right.
It's just wherever we see an I-beam, correct?
You're gonna every place is an I-beam. You are going to put a architectural column there. Yes.
My I-beams disappeared on the. Oh wait. No,
Okay. All right. All right. It's all good. Okay, so let's just work this out here, and you'll notice you can just keep on. You know, the tool just stays right on there. You just keep on working your way through the plan right here. So just go ahead and do that. And we're just going to go ahead and do this right now. And every so often you want to kind of look in 3D to see what your progress is, but you figure every 10 you do, you've done 5%. So it's going to take you a few minutes to do this. But and again, part of why I'm doing this is to get you familiar with panning, zooming, going back and forth between 3D, checking your work, and making sure that you have actually done what you think you've done, and making sure your results are correct. When I teach people AutoCAD, I usually have one or two exercises like this that are, just, a lot of the same thing over and over again. So that's how that is. Did any of you guys go to BOCES? Did you? Did I tell you I used to teach BOCES? Did I tell you that?
Oh, what'd you teach there?
I taught, yes, I taught computer aided drafting. And my students back in, this is a true story. The year I came in, I actually, the school district I was in, BOCES, was actually Jefferson Lewis County. Lewis County, where there's more cows than people. Glenfield, which is south of Lowville, which is hardly a metropolis in itself. But anyway, my students came in first place in the state of New York in automated manufacturing technology, and went. Well, you guys know Skills USA, right? Vica Skills USA. Yeah, they came in first place in the state of New York. We beat Rochester. We beat Buffalo. We beat Long Island. We beat Manhattan. We beat them all. It was pretty cool. It was really David and Goliath type of thing.
And you took a precision machining class over the summer there.
At which BOCES?
BOCES too.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah.
How long ago did you teach there?
1998. And it was fun. I still have some students that stay in touch with me. They didn't do too well in the national competition, though. They're a bit like deer in the headlights, but they up until then they did great. And
I mean, there does come a point where you also meet your match.
yeah, the best in the state was one thing. The best in the country, that California, if I remember correctly, had some pretty stiff competition. California, they are their technology in their schools is really, kind of second to none.
Yeah, California has a really good STEM system.
Yeah.
I've seen, obviously, like I've mentioned countless times, I'm on a robotics team. I keep an eye on a lot of California robotics teams.
Oh yeah.
And they are very
well. They're well funded. Like, and also it's interesting because the story of Bill Gates, the guy who started Microsoft, his story was he actually went to this school. What was it in Redwood, California, or Red? Anyway, I think it's Redmond. Anyway, he was there, and what happened is his school district had the money to actually have computers, and so he got into it, and he was able to really go ahead and work with computers when basically less than 1% of the people in the country, students in the country would be able to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, California is really good. They have like 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 teams that I can go right off the bat that are absolutely insane on the world stage.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And the thing is, you figure like, that's where Tesla started, and they've got obviously Apple's out there, and and you've got Pixar, and the whole media and entertainment industry.
Yeah,
kind of big out there. Anyone done yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna say about halfway done, maybe a little less.
Yeah, takes a little while. But this is actually, and there are ways to automate the structural steel, but not the architectural columns. Architectural columns have to be placed like we're doing it right now. just the way the software is written.
Just the way the software reacts.
Yeah, I mean, you could get like, here's the thing. Everybody and their brother is writing add-ins for Revit, third-party plugins, and you could probably get a third-party plugin that actually put in these architectural columns wherever there is a structural column, but out of the box, it doesn't do that, which to me is a little bit of in this case, I'm just using it so we can get practice. But in reality, this should be something that is, and what I could have done too is I could have actually made my columns. I could have had both together and just placed them all together, but I want to give you guys practice, so I did this deliberately. I wanted to get experience doing this and also seeing what a floor plan looks like and how your columns relate to it and how all that works together. You can also place these in the 3D view. If you take a look at my screen right now, if you're working on it and you're like this right now, you could just do this. You can just go in here and find columns, and it's intelligent enough to find it in 3D. Like over here, if I just go here, watch this, finds it, boom, I click, and it finds it right there. So you can do it in 3D too, and that gives you another little bit of a. Now that one's off a little bit, so I got to move that one. But you got to make sure you're dead on, or it'll misplace it. And when you see both of the grid lines light up, you can place it. Okay, all right. And that's a wrap for me. So when you're done, it'll look like this. And then if you want to put on your shadows, you see what it looks like. You'll get that kind of a look. And then just kind of go through, make sure you got them all done. And I'll give you guys a couple minutes. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to start to put the walls in. And again, this is all going to be practice for placing walls. Because as we go along, we'll be doing more of this stuff. And placing walls can be a little bit more ticklish because you never want to put walls on top of walls because it's Revit doesn't like it. You can do it, but then they get double counted. And so what it does actually makes your model incorrect. Even though it lets you do it, it's going to gripe at you. So anyone done yet? Just me? Pretty much everybody? Okay. If you're not done, don't worry, you'll have time. But what we're going to do now is we're going to look at how to put the walls in. Now that we've done this, the CAD plan here, as I mentioned in the hall, is somewhat compromised, okay? I didn't do this. I'm just, I'm not justifying this. I'm just reporting. But what's happening is these walls are kind of a little bit inconsistent, which is probably not the way they were built. So what we're going to do right here is I've made a bunch of wall widths, but you're probably going to find one or two more that need to be created. So let me show you how this works. Let's go back to level one. We'll go to level one. Now, the first thing we're going to do here, we're going to zoom out. And let's just go ahead and start right down here. We'll start right down here at the lower left corner where we were before. All right, now, once you get down here to the lower left corner, we have some walls here. And we don't know what the thickness of it is. So we got to measure. So to measure it, you can do it one of two ways. You can either go ahead and use a dimension, and the dimension will let you go ahead and go from here to here, and it tells you what that is. And that's 1'5" 3/4. So roughly 1'6". 1'6" will work. And by the way, for this, I'm not worried about precision so much. I want to get close within about a half an inch. That's good enough for this. Close enough for government work, as they say. And so now what we're going to do here is we're going to place some walls. Now notice what you got here. You got some kind of goofy stuff going on here. You got these big thick walls here. Then you got a little wall right here. That's probably bogus. That's probably not how it was constructed, but that is how it's represented on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just do our best to draw these walls. Now, let me show you how this works. So I got this, and I know they're 15 3/4. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to architecture, and I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go to wall. And when I go to wall, I'll go here, and let me take a look at my walls and see what I got here. Now, down here at the bottom are the last few walls that I made. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and try to find 1'5" 3/4. And there's 1'5", there's 1'6". Generic 1'6". Okay, so that's one that I made. So watch this. I'm going to go here. Now, whenever you're working in Revit, here's how you do this. You go right to here and notice what it found right there. It found the center lines. You can also change it. Like right up here, if you want to go to the outside, you can do that. You can use finish face exterior. I'm just going to stick to the wall center line because it's a bit more flexible. And I'm going to go right from here straight across. Now you go right through your doors, and you're just going to go right through your doors. So we go here, and then we're going to go up to here, and the wall stops right there. So we'll do that, and that's okay. And then we're going to go ahead. We're going to put another wall here, and we'll go right to here, and we'll go ahead and pull this one just up like that. And when you've done that, you put in your walls. Okay, and it's going to look like that. So that's very, very basic. Now, once you put those in, take a look at it in 3D. When you take a look at it in 3D, it's going to look like this. Yeah.
Oh, when I was doing the walls, it just keeps saying one element is completely inside.
Yeah, mine said that too. Just ignore that right now. You probably won't get that error again. That one is a little bit of a different thing because the actual column was completely pulled into the other one, and that's a non-typical situation. And again, this is kind of an inaccurate floor plan, so ignore errors like that because they're not that big of a deal. Now, let me point something out here to you guys. You guys all good with that? That work?
Yeah.
All right. Now, these walls are too tall. So I'm going to show you something here. Whenever you have your walls, like in this view right now, I'm going to select on my walls. So we learned this last week. If you hover your cursor over one of the walls and press your tab key, they'll all highlight and then click and they all turn blue. Now, what I want to do is I want to change the height. We're going to be working with heights all the time. So over here, the height here says it's unconnected. We just want to bring it up to level 2. You make it up to level 2 and click apply, and it brings them down like that. So we're just going to keep our walls like that. So as we're working with the walls, we are going to go ahead and work with them just like that. Did that make sense? Yeah, what I did is your walls. Okay, let me do this again. Here's what they look like. All right, the walls look like this. What you do is to select the walls. You can select them one at a time, but that's too much like work. So what you do is you put your cursor over one of them, press your tab key, and they all get selected, and then you click on them. When you click on them, they all turn blue. They have to be blue before you can edit them. Do you follow me? Yeah. Then you're going to go over here to the top constraint, and you're going to change that to up to level 2. And then click apply, and it's going to bring the walls down like that. Now that's something I put in there. I left there so you guys could actually get exercise with this too, because it's part of learning how to work with this stuff. All right, now, how are we doing there? Any questions about that before we move on? So that's foundational. So what we're going to do now is it's going to be lather, rinse, and repeat. Um, there's 219 columns, and the walls are going to run throughout the whole thing. So let's pick an easy one here. Let's go to level 1, and let's go over to here. Now, see this outside wall here? There's actually an outside wall that goes around the perimeter here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find out what that is. So let's just go over here to the left, and this one will do another dimension here, and I'll go from here to here, and that tells me that's 1 foot 4 1/4. So that's 1 foot 4 1/4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and go to my wall and see if I've got a 1 foot 4 1/4 or something pretty close to that. I do. I have a 1 foot 4 1/4 right here. So obviously I've been here. So I got the 1 foot 4 1/4, and I'm going to go here, and I want to go now here. What it's finding it right now, it's having a tough time finding the middle of this right here. So I'm just going to I'm going to change it to finish face exterior. And when I use finish face exterior, I'm going to thin my wall lines here. I'm going to start here and watch that. Now, see this right here? I'm just going to go right to the exterior. Now, at this point, I can just click on the outside, and I can just go right around here. And I'm going to stop this one right here. That little extension doesn't need to be there. I bring it right to here. And I guess I'll bring it right to here. There. And then I'm going to go down the hall here. And this one goes all the way down, I think. I think it goes all the way down. Okay, it looks like the wall thickness carries up until, where does it stop? Let's see here. All right, now that wall, yeah, we'll go right down here. And I'm just going to bring it down right to around and stop right there. Okay, and that's just because, right now something is different here and there's something goofy with this wall, so we'll just leave it there. And then after you've done that, you take a look at it in 3D again, and you do this. Now, notice what you got here. These walls are also too tall, so we're going to just take those, and I'm going to highlight them, and I'm going to change those too. One thing you can do as you're going along here is you can actually, as you're drawing these, you can just start and do that step first and just make it up to level 2, and that'll save you having to do this each time. But now what you're going to do is you're simply going to put all these walls in, okay? So your job is to zoom in, do a dimension, find a wall that is roughly the right size, and then just go ahead and put it across. And I will show you how to do one thing. And that is if you need to get a new wall width, you may need to do this, I think, in 1 or 2 places. So I'm going to show you how to do that. To do that, you guys are probably all working right now. You guys all set right now? Okay. Well, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let you guys keep on working. And if you find a wall that you do not have if you find a wall where the thickness is not equal to what you have, just go ahead and just leave it for right now. And we'll come back to, I'll show you how in a minute. But for right now, just go through your plan and find some exterior walls and do your exterior walls first. And then we'll come back and we'll look at some outliers. So let's just go ahead and trace some walls. And the one thing I will say as you're making your wall right here is, let's see here. As you're putting the wall in here, take a look at my screen just for a second. If you click and you see that your wall is in the wrong orientation, if you press your space bar, it'll put it in the other direction.
You want the beads or the columns? You want them inside the wall?
In some cases they are, yeah. 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 Sometimes they will be, sometimes they won't. It depends. Like, yes, some will stick out. And that's just how the floor plan is kind of, it's got anomalies in it. In the hallway here, they stick out in the hall. So yeah, you will see some will, some won't. So it's an inconsistent floor plan along those lines. Some are entirely encased, others are not. And do not worry about the windows. That is not something we're going to get into just yet. Yeah.
It doesn't let me select the exact center line of a wall I want to build.
Mhm.
There is ending of another wall. at the
Yep.
Beginning of the column.
So what you do is while you're in the wall command, what you do is you change the location line to be the finished face exterior. Then you can snap to the outside edge. That'll get you precision.
Professor, can you show me where, what you did with 191C?
Yeah, 1 second here. All right, let me just stop right here. All right, 191C. All right.
Down towards, all the way down.
All right.
Go right.
Ah, yes, okay. So what's the question? Oh, sorry, that's our, okay, 191. All right, let's keep on finding. Okay, keep on going down.
Right there.
Okay, 191B. Okay, right there. Yes, yes, okay. What's that?
Just trying to follow what you did right there.
Okay, what I did is I just went ahead and ran the wall right through here. And what you would do then in reality is you would put your doors in here. So a door would go right here like that, and then this door would go over here like this. Now at this point, we're not worrying about the doors just yet. All right, but you can actually take these and place them right there. And that makes a little more sense there, right? Yep. So that is how those would actually go in there. So if you want to put the doors in, you can go ahead. It's not required at this point, but that is something that you could actually do.
So the wall goes to the right of that, continue it by going to the right.
What you're doing is the way you do walls in Revit, you never make gaps for your doors, you never make gaps for your windows. And the reason why is Revit was written to actually do that, so the doors actually carve out their own hole, and so do the windows. You actually confuse Revit if you actually stop the wall, try to put a door in, and then go through it. So you just draw your walls all the way through right now. We're not worried about any of the wall breaks. We're not worried about windows. We're not worried about doors. Those are known as fenestration. So you're not worried about any of this stuff. You're just running the walls all the way down as if there's no doors, there's no windows. Yeah.
When I'm going over a column with a door and the wall is like completely around the column, it's showing up saying that one element is completely inside it. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's fine. Because that's actually the way now, that's actually probably not the way it is, because when we go out here in the hallway, we see they're all kind of out there. But that's the way this drawing was done. So we're just going to follow the drawing.
Okay.
And again, the goal of this right now, we'll get to, and that's what Revit does. Revit actually has, constraints in it that are actually going to go ahead and call out errors like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do the best we can to match this, and we're realizing that there are some inconsistencies in it.
How to deal with this red square, like next to your upper column?
This one?
Yeah.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like that one right there. That might be an anomaly. Let me go back to there. And so this one right here, take a look at that. That's this one right here. All right. Now, okay, so this has a column right here. I think that's just an error on the plan. So don't worry about that one. There wouldn't be a column right next to it, I don't think. Because there's not one there. No, so I wouldn't worry, just leave that one there and don't worry about that one. Okay. If there's not an I, don't worry about it. Okay. Yep. Okay, when it comes time to save the project, let me show you, because you're going to start to get prompted now in a moment. So here's what you want to save it as. You are going to save this. Just give me your attention for a moment here, because I want you guys to name them correctly. This is what you're going to name it. You're going to name it MCC floor plan space hyphen space your last name. MCC floor plan. Let's go ahead and save that like that. All in caps. All right, so we'll go to save as. Okay, file, save as. Project. And just save it to your desktop again, like we've been doing. And that's what we'll do. So it's MCC floor plan. Space, hyphen, space, your last name. I'm putting in the date because I am going to be showing you guys some other things. So you do not put the date in. This is just me doing it. Okay.
Do you fix it if it doesn't let you save it as a project?
You can always save it. Oh, you saved it as a template?
No, I
You can always save it as a different name. Yeah, you can always rename it.
no, it doesn't let me save as a project. It lets me only as a template.
Right.
So
You
just
because
save it as a template and
save
then
it as a
fill out.
template, and then we have to go through. We have to bring. Then we'll have to bring that template in and save that. And then you have to start a new project using that as your template, and then you save that as a project. Like, yeah. So when you get to that point, just make sure you save it as a template right now. We'll get to that other point later.
If it's a 6.5 inch wall, I'm gonna put a 6 inch generic.
That's fine. That's close enough for what we're doing. That's fine.
How do I get my properties back up again?
Go to the View tab, and then go to the far right and look at User Interface, and you'll find Properties. You can put a check mark in it. Yep. And part of why I'm doing this is because we're going to start to actually be doing some projects. And I don't want you guys, these are the basics right now, and I want you guys to feel pretty comfortable with the basics. So that is why we're doing this. It will make sense later. But right now you might be thinking, boy, this is busy work. It's not busy work. It's actually it'll all make sense.
Should we do between axis Q and R? Third section. QR12. So you're just like open and square going to the left.
Okay, 1 second here. All right, just gonna run this through here. All right, all the way down to the end there. Okay, what's the room?
It's QR12
Where is it located? Top or bottom?
to the left. Not you just went over it. Axis QR.
Okay.
You see there's like a D, but it's like open contour.
What's that now? Up, down or up?
It's axis Q and R.
Okay.
Yeah, right here.
Okay, right here? Yeah. What about it?
Should I build it as a wall?
Yeah, just use it as a wall. We're not gonna worry about the wall, the doors and stuff like that. So just find the thickness and run a wall through it. That's all we're doing right now. Yep. Okay, and and take a look at it, because what's happening is you're working with this right now. You're going to you're gonna find this right here, and we're just gonna go ahead and change these.
Right where you are, Professor, is that like a double?
Right here?
Yeah. You go to level one.
Sure. Well, let me go back there. Okay, so you're talking about this?
No, it's just before that.
Okay, let me just kind of find as a marker. Okay, right here. Yeah, that's an error. I'm quite sure that's an error. So just go ahead and draw it as you think right now, because this is a second wall. That's wrong. I'll guarantee you that's not happening.
So do I put that 8-inch wall through the column?
Yep. Well, what I did is I went ahead and did this right here. I did a 1'6" column, and I just went from this outside, because there's an outside wall right here. And this little bit right here, I'm just not worrying about it.
What about the wall perpendicular side now?
This right here, that one is 8.5 inches. So you just use an 8.5 inch wall. Yep. Well, you're gonna basically, so your columns are not going to go directly through the center. That's just the way that the plan is. In reality, they probably are centered. This CAD plan is a little bit tortured. So we're just doing the best we can to get some experience with it. If I had the actual CAD plan from the that they actually use and so forth, to make life a lot easier, I guarantee you there's some stuff that's wrong about it though. There always is. Yeah, and I think that just guessing right now, the way they did this is they did a lot of rebuilds. They had it on, and when they did, there's a lot of retrofitting that went on, and so you have different, you have a lot of different stuff that's going on behind the scenes here, and that's just how it is. All right.
I could get you tomorrow really quick.
Yeah. Okay, let me show you guys. We're gonna take a little. We're gonna take a little pause here right now, so I can tell you something that's kind of cool here. I'm going to empower you right now. So just go ahead and complete what you're working on right now. Save your work, and I'm gonna show you something really cool. Go to your 3D view right here. Go to 3D view. I'm gonna show you something that's gonna help you. Now, when you go to this 3D view like this right now, you're going to be having. What I did is the particular workflow that I like to use typically is I like to do my outside walls first, and I fill it in. You know, that's what I did. I would recommend that. It's a little less confusing. That way you just kind of fill it in. Anyone here do puzzles? Okay, good, good. Okay, my wife and I just did one recently. We did one that was like it was 1,500. It was a Ravensburger. Is that the really cool one? You guys heard of Ravensburger? It's a German made one. So it's a really high quality wood Germans, you know. So you take the pieces and they kind of snap into place right there. It's quite tactile. But anyway, you know, but when you got that, you've got this ability to actually go ahead and make that happen. So anyway, when you're making a puzzle, what do? You always find the side pieces. Always find the side pieces because that gives you a defined edge. Always, always. So I find when I'm doing something like this, I do the exterior first. That's just how I do it. Now, so looking at this in 3D right now, what we want to do is remember, we talked about all of the walls being, they're not going to be the 2-story walls. We just want them to go from the first, second story. So they're actually, instead of being 20 feet, they're going to be 10 feet. So how do I do that? Well, there's something you can do that's really cool. Because I don't want to go and pick all the walls individually. And we have a lot of wall types. We have 8.5-inch walls, we got 16-inch walls, we got 1-foot-4-inch walls. There's a lot of different walls, but they're all walls. That means they're all the same category. That means there is a way to select all of them and isolate them so we can actually do surgery on them all at once. Here's how that's done. In this view right here, press your escape key. And now what you're going to do is you're going to click on any wall. Click on any wall, it's going to turn blue. Now, what you're going to do next is you're going to look down on the bottom of your screen and you're going to see there is this set of glasses right here. Can you guys see where I'm circling? All right, go ahead and what you want to do is you want to go ahead and you want to click on that. Click on the glasses right down here. So click on the glasses. Now, when you do that, you'll notice that you can isolate categories or hide categories. You can isolate elements or hide elements. You're going to go ahead and go to isolate category. So go to isolate category and check that out. When you isolate a category, that means everything else gets hidden. And now you can do surgery just on this. That work for you guys? Okay, now, what you're going to now, just press your escape key. And then what you can do is just select everything. Now, to select everything, easiest way to do it, just bring your cursor down like this and just click your mouse and just drag it over the whole thing. Just go ahead and click and drag it over the top, and they'll all turn blue. You can't click on it and then right-click and choose select similar because they're walls, but they're not the same type of walls. So highlight everything so it highlights in blue. Then you're going to go over to here to where it says the constraint varies. Yes, it does. And you want to make it up to level 2 and then hit apply. And when you do that, all your walls will shrink down. It's a fast way to do surgery and get them all where they need to go. Anyone need me to show you that again? All right. Now, once you've done that, you're going to go back to the other, you want your information to show back up. So you go back down here to the glasses and you say reset temporary height isolate and your information comes back. So this is a way for you to take something and just tell it, I don't want to see anything but my walls right now. All right. So let's go ahead and continue working on this. It is right now 1:20. We've got half an hour. Let's just see if we can't complete the walls in the amount of time we have left. See how far we can get. That's the widest. And don't worry about it if you, because I'm not going to go through making walls right now. We'll do that later on. But for right now, don't let that worry you. If you just get the fattest one you got, the widest one you got.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think I did.
interiors or not?
You're doing the interior walls too, yeah. Again, this is practice just for understanding how walls get laid out and how they behave, and just understanding how they work. And also, what we're doing right now is we're finding out how to change the different wall types and understanding that there are different wall types. So that's all what's involved here. And we will be handing this in tonight.
I don't think I'm gonna have this done by tonight.
And that's okay. I don't think anyone's gonna get it all done.
Sorry about that.
Don't be sorry. I did this last year, and I had some students who were, I don't know if I did a little bit sooner or later if they had experience with Revit, but they just, they got done a lot quicker than I thought they would. And so I wasn't sure, it's like, because, you guys are right where I think you should be. And I didn't necessarily expect to get this whole thing done, but I wanted to get all the columns in place for sure. And the exterior walls are the main things. And then and the biggest thing is when you're working with this kind of software, it's just like right here. See, I've got this area right here. I've got that all populated. Once you get one area kind of together, and again, if it's you can do some cheating on this in the sense that, like I know the wall thicknesses are kind of like all over the place. If you find they're pretty darn close, just run them through and that's fine. I'm not gonna, the biggest thing right here is just to get the experience of this right now. So right now we've got 15 minutes now. So let's just spend about the next 10 minutes working on this and then we'll save it and that'll be it for tonight. Oh, here's a little trick here, by the way. You may be finding that you're kind of losing where your place is. You're looking back and forth, but let me show you a little trick here. Like right now, I want to do some work right here. So I click on this column, it turns blue. And then I go back to level 1. I just got to find the blue column. And that's where I am. And you just zoom into that, and then you just start working from that location there. It's a little trick, just so you don't lose your place. So a lot of this is just learning how to navigate and getting that down.
How do you create new sizes of walls?
Okay, I'll show you how to, okay, if anyone's interested in how to create a new size wall, I'll show you right now. If you're interested in that, just finish what you're doing and I'll show you how to make a new size wall. It's really easy to do. So this is how it's done. Let's say I want to do this one right here. Okay, let's just do this. Let's go ahead and let's all work on the same place. Let's go to 3D. Let's go to your 3D view and go to the top right here. Go to your 3D view and go to the top and you see this column right here. This column is right here. This would be where is that at? What's the intersection there? That would be I think that's 10. And well, you see it right here. It's right by, it's at the corner of Classroom 185. So click on that one. And at the upper left corner of Classroom 185. Now, when you go here, it looks like this. Now, I have some walls. Okay, I've got a wall here and I got a wall here. So I'll just measure this one first. So if I measure this one first, I see that the size of this one is 1'2". I don't think I have a 1'2" wall. So what I'm going to do is I'll start with a wall here. And when I start with a wall here, it doesn't matter which one because I'm going to make it a different size. So for this one, I'll just go ahead and make it generic 1 foot, 1 foot. I'll make it generic 1 foot. Now, once you have this in place, you go to edit type. And when you go to edit type, you duplicate it. And I'm going to make this generic. Oh, this says 1'2" already. How did that happen? Okay. That's, in other words, that's actually what I want it to be because it's a second one. So it's actually 1'2". So that's actually fine. And so I'll make it 1'2". Click OK. Now, the thing you have to do now is you've not actually changed the structure. So you go here where it says structure and you go to edit. When you click on edit, you go over here and you change the thickness to 1'2". Was that Derek asking or Sam? Okay, so you go here and make that 1 foot 2 inches. You see that? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Then you click OK, click apply, and click OK. And then at this point, you're ready to go. So now I can go here, and I got that perfect wall right there. All right. Does that work okay for you? Yeah. And so that is how you do that. And so, and that is actually something that you wind up doing a lot when you're working in Revit. And now I got another one here. I'll see if I got a winner or not. But again, my biggest thing here is just that you guys are learning how to look and find what you need and use the tools to get that drawn.
Are you going around the greenhouse?
Yep. Hmm. Huh. Okay, yeah.
Should we make a new wall if I got 1 foot 4.5 inches? But we have 1
1 foot 4 is close enough. Anything up to a half an inch is fine. All right. Hmm. Okay, that'll do it. Let's just go ahead, take a look at what you got, and you should be somewhere right around here. All right, as far as that goes. And so again, this was practice for just learning how to make this work. Let's do this. Okay, save your work. Do not hand it in. Don't submit it just yet. I think we're going to do a little bit more on this next week. When we do this next week, we're going to actually, we may just go ahead and finish the walls. We should get it shown pretty extended right now. And we're going to finish that. So save your work. If you didn't bring a thumb drive, just mail it to yourself. It's the easiest way to do it. Just go ahead and do that. That's all we're going to do for right now. We'll finish this next time. And then we'll move into the next thing. I'm going to segue this into the next project that we're going to be working with. And yeah, so let's do that. So save your work, make sure you've got it. And again, the naming convention is like this right here. If you look at Brightspace, I always have the naming conventions out there. Here is the naming convention, MCC floor plan, space hyphen space, your last name. That's what that should look like. Just like that. Okay, just like that. Okay, so save your work. I will save mine, and we will continue this next time. So that's going to be it. So save it once you're all done. You guys can leave a few minutes early. Get home in time to see the Bills, and hopefully their destruction of the Dolphins. Switch the pitch and all that, and see you guys next week. Yes. Yeah.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Good night. Thanks.
Could I take a plane? Could I have that plane?
Yeah.
And if I took a plane, would I be able to, how would so would you have to put it in CAD first and then be able to put it in Revit to be able to?
No.
No.
We have good dimensions. You can put it right into that.
I can put it into a
But if you got a CAD plan, or even a PDF, you can bring it in a rep. I'm sure. So bring it in next week, and the thing is, we can.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, good night. Right, yeah, what you got?
I see my wall.
Let's see, guys. Go ahead and change this right for your big stuff. And make it short. Beauty. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's great. Say your word. That's good. Just like it says.
Yeah, it is, but I got another question. So,
Yeah.
because I just finished doing the columns.
Yeah.
I was like, wait,
It's okay.
so when I measure it, I'm measuring it with,
Yeah, face to face.
okay, face to face. What about, okay, so here's the wall.
Yeah, it's tough. So this wall, this is actually, this is where I started about to remember. This is in here.
Okay.
Because what really you would have, they've actually doubled the walls here. They have a wall from here to here. They have another one from here to there. And there's no way that wall is that big. So just pick the outside. I would
So,
pick the
so pick
outside.
this one out?
Yep.
And then, so in here,
I would go to the right here, right to this part there.
but isn't that the exterior? I already did the exterior for.
Oh, I
inside.
see, I
I'm
see.
talking about
Yeah,
inside.
okay, I see. Don't double it up though. This right here, you picked one, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't do the, okay,
No, don't worry about it.
okay.
We'll be learning about that stuff. And again, I wish they had a better plan, because the thing is, I kind of wanted to use something that was like nice and clean, and I just kind of got into this. I committed so much into it. After I got into it, I said, oh gosh, this is terrible. But anyway, I'm using it as an opportunity to kind of like measure the walls, figure out what they are, because that's a big part of what you have to do too. Making sure the things are going correctly and making sure it matches. And the thing is, the closer we get to something real, the better off we'll be. So we'll finish up. So just make sure you save it, and we're not submitting it tonight. We'll do that on Tuesday.
Okay. Thank you.
Take it easy, bucket. All right. Yeah. All set? Have a good night. And we'll be hitting some more cool stuff. It just keeps on growing, so it's oh, I just passed my my AutoCAD certification yesterday for certified as a professional again. Not easy to do. There's a user level, there's like a certified user, there's an associate, and then there's like a professional, which is like the highest. And it was a bit of a, it was a bit of a, it was a challenge. I got it done, so that's cool. So I'm certified for another 3 years. I'm going for my Revit certification next, so that's
Oh,
coming up.
okay.
Yeah, so
Do you teach continuing Revit classes?
I do. Well, actually, I do corporate training is what I do. So I'm actually teaching, like next week, I teach a 5-day class for professionals, and I actually teach a lot of the content that I give you guys is actually what I teach them. You know,
Okay,
and what I do is I just adapted it into my curriculum and this kind of thing. So I teach you guys pretty much the same stuff that I do for professionals. The only thing is for them, it's 5 days in a row, 8 hours a day.
Oh,
It's,
so
so it's
that's
like
a
a boot
lot.
camp. So
Yeah.
when they're done, it's like every day just kind of coming in, you know. So the first 3 days is always the same thing, you know, there's wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then I hit day 4 and 5, and they're like, this is so cool, you know, and because you're in it every day, you're marinating in it. You kind of like get done with it. Then it runs like a boot camp. You can't believe what you learned, you know. The only thing about this right now is we're doing it twice a week for a couple hours. So I try to get you guys, you get the juices flowing as much as I can.
Yeah.
Because if I can get you into that thing where you get that muscle memory, you're looking at it and seeing it and really, okay, I understand what's going on in this environment. Then it gets easier because then we get into the design aspect and so forth. You're not thinking about how do I make a wall. You're just like, you do it. Yeah, you do it. That's how I'm doing this. And getting you guys familiar with it. And then after this, you understand how Revit behaves. Oh, okay, that sucks, back up,
Yeah.
do it over again, kind of thing. So
I met an architect a couple weeks ago at Marville. I was having some chicken wings. And because I saw this of what your architectural firm on his thing, and I'm like, hey, are you an architect? He's like, yeah. Like, you do Revit? He's like, no, I have no idea how to do Revit. I do everything on AutoCAD. I have to get the other guy to transfer everything from AutoCAD to Revit. And I'm like, it's like,
and
I couldn't
he's
do it.
he's behind the curve. He's behind the curve. He's gonna regret it. Or he's gonna be paying somebody. That's the thing.
That's
He'll be
crazy.
hiring you or somebody else to sit
Yeah.
there and put stuff into Revit, you know. And
And he looked miserable. He's sitting there drinking like 4 beers in a row, and I'm like, he's all by himself. I'm like, you really hate your job that much? You
a lot of architects are pretty miserable.
know,
And,
why?
yeah, I don't get. Well, the thing is, both my sons are architects. And the thing is, they say it's just like it's a tough thing. The reason why is people that get into it, they're a hybrid between an engineer and an architect,
Right.
and the two sides fight each other. And so
That's what everyone professor says.
it's true. It's true. And
He's an
so
engineer.
yeah,
Uh,
and so one wins and one loses. And so what happens is always kind of been a compromise. Here's the other thing too. Architects are typically extremely fastidious people.
Does that mean like precise?
Yes, very meticulous.
So that's why I'm
Very,
having trouble with these walls. It's because it's like, dude, they're not matching up.
they're not magic.
And
Yeah.
I'm like a perfectionist.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, you are, I noticed that.
wow.
And I'm going to, yeah, and this is, we'll get to perfection later. There'll be plenty of that. But the thing is, for right now, I'm just trying to get you to, kind of like see how it works. But what I've seen with architects, the ones that I know, they tend to be unpleasant people. Sorry, that's just how it is. They tend to be kind of cruel. They tend to be very angular, like this. And it's a rare one who's got a heart and is kind. I know a few. I know a few that are kind, the best people on the planet. But architects, as a rule, are very, very uptight, and they're kind of unpleasant.
Is it because the pay's not there?
No, because even the ones that make money are unpleasant. They're
Yeah.
just really, they're all like kind of Steve Jobs, they're just kind of like, everything's gotta be this way. Very German, the kind of German mindset,
Yeah.
and it's my way or the highway, very much that way. Because, and I kind of get it, because when you get a vision, like one of these kind of guys, like, it's gotta be this way, and they get locked in. They got tracked to me, they see it in their head,
Yeah.
and everything's just kind of, it's gotta be this way. And musicians can be the same way. Musicians that do a lot of recording and stuff, like Steely Dan. You ever listen to their music? But Steely Dan, they do like You Don't Lose That Number, Peg, anyway. They were known to have the best studio albums, on the planet. I mean, just meticulous, beautiful. But they were just absolutely the most unpleasant people to work with. And so that's the thing. When you get really into the arts and perfections and so forth, I think it makes people almost unhappy because what they can't really get what they want. And so they only get part of the way. And even when they get it, they're not happy. It's just a weird thing.
So what sense like world-renowned architects,
Yeah.
different from the other architects?
Yeah.
You know, they learn the same stuff.
They do. Some people are great at marketing, you know. All right, have a good night. Yeah, they're great at marketing. And the thing is, some people are really, really good at selling their ideas. They're schmoozers. Like my son John, everyone loves it. Everyone loves it. One into it. It's like everyone meets him, like, you're great. I love you. He's one of the kind of warm and fuzzy architects who people want him. He's not making a lot of money. England's terrible for that. My other son, the one who's down in Texas, he pretty much dropped the whole architectural thing, even though he's a licensed architect. And he went right to the software side, and he's making bank. He's doing really well. He's very bright, and he can schmooze like crazy. He could, as the saying goes, he could sell a ketchup popsicles when they
Yeah.
once, you know.
Now, who's the architect around here that built that big cantilever house up at East Avenue?
The famous one? Oh, we're not talking. Oh gosh, his name is escaping right now. Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah, the Wright House.
Frank Lloyd
House
Wright.
is sick. I drove by it the other day, and I'm like, man, someone bought it, remodeled it.
Frank Lloyd Wright was an amazing architect. His stuff stands up, and
So
and again,
what sets him apart from
What?
other architects?
his work.
Well, I understand his work,
Yeah,
but how does he get the work and other architects can't get the same work?
well,
How does that work?
I think a big part of it, honestly, is confidence in marketing, and because Frank Lloyd Wright became friendly with who was it? A few people. He got to know some people who were
Eastman's.
okay, yeah, and that's part of it. You get in the right circles. Like there's a guy in Detroit, architect, his name was Albert Kahn, KHN. And Albert Kahn was brilliant. I mean, he was kind of unknown, but he met Henry Ford.
Yeah.
And he did like just a kind of like a quarter-mile long factory for Henry Ford. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, he did that.
That's the guy.
Yeah, this is the guy.
Like
So he did all this stuff, and so that was how it was.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't.
So it's marketing. You got to market yourself.
It is. It always
people.
is. Yeah, you find the right people. That's the thing. You find the right people. You gotta be a little bit shameless. And a lot of architects aren't willing to do that. Sometimes architects are, again, get back to personality type, they're unpleasant.
Yeah.
And people want to be around. So it's like, you're a jerk. Yeah. So, and also architects typically, they're not jerks to their customers. They're just jerks to the work. Yeah. So they figured that out.
Yeah, the White House is pretty.
Yeah.
The cantilever sticks out like crazy.
Well, and the thing is, there's tables that go with that. Because a cantilever, I think, because I was gonna put a cantilever on my deck, and I think, for a deck, make cantilevers 2 feet, 2 feet over. And I think that's kind of, as far as you can go with organized, I think that's a 2 by 10. And if you have 2 by 12, you go for,
Yeah.
and so forth, but, yeah, and so there's certain things, but with concrete, with steel,
Yeah.
you can stick that thing out
Yeah.
there. And you can rotate, and he was, I think, the first one to do the kind of really horizontal massing, which is really what it is. And the thing is, the falling water, which is, I think they call it masterpiece, that's one in Pennsylvania. But it's actually got like a waterfall built into it, so more stuff there. I love it. There's actually a bunch in Buffalo too. So a few in Buffalo.
So he could design it like he's still an engineer.
The way he did, back in those days, I don't even think he was actually a licensed architect for a lot of his career. I think he was. He just learned how to do it. And what he did is he got these ideas, and he knew enough as far as like how to get it together, but he would work in concert with other professional engineers, who was a structural guy. And the structural people would make that work, you probably drove them crazy. But the thing is, he probably did.
Yeah, they're like mad. They're like, no, it has to do this, it has to be this way.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
it's like that's,
Well, your structural guys tend to be, they make money. The thing is, your PEs, they tend to be, they're kind of fat and happy. They're making 3 feet, 6 figures. They're just doing their thing, and they know everyone's got to go through that. And, nope, that won't work. Nope, that won't work. Because they're going to stamp it or they won't stamp it.
Right.
If they won't stand up, they won't stamp it. Screw you, I'm not doing it. That's how they are. And so they just know the rules, and they stick to it. So makes it easier. Architects is a little bit different, but an architect who can really do something, it's a joy. I mean, to see my son's company, the company he used to work for in Rochester, CJS, they actually did the addition to the Museum of Play, the Strong Museum of Play. Yeah, so they did that whole thing. It's very cool. And so he loved it. He got to work on that whole thing. He was there and he did some stuff for RIT, he did some stuff in Pittsburgh, and had some really cool projects.
Yeah. Cool project.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. You get in, you've got great background with using heavy machine and so forth, so you may find some doors open that other people won't.
Right.
So, all right. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Yeah, yes.